Hello and welcome to the Company Interiors channel. My name's Nick Clark, and in today's video we're going to be looking at displays, how to make displays using preserved plants that are in our range: eucalyptus, hydrangeas, many different varieties that we can use for display. So this is all about bringing nature back into our environment, whether it's moss walls behind me or moss frames. So you have a link in the description if you want to have a look at any of the products that we use in today's video. You've also got a link if you want a sample of some of the preserved mosses that we use. If you like this sort of thing, always subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. But let's go and have a look at Denise's video now.
Okay, great, let's get started. Today we're making a little project with our red-green hydrangea, which I have here, a beautiful preserved flower. Looks and feels just like a fresh one. It is a real natural flower that's just had the water removed and glycerin replaced to keep it fresh and preserved, so it'll last you for years to come. So I don't want to adjust the length of my stem on my hydrangea because I want to be able to reuse it for future projects. So for today's project, I'm choosing a container that gives me the depth to put that whole stalk in. You can choose whatever container you like. General rule of thumb is the wider the container, the bigger the arrangement is going to be. Because the idea is that when you put your foliage and flowers in, that you want to be able to cover your foam and your mechanics in your arrangement. So I have a cute little vase here today I'm working with. So the first step is to work with your foam. Now, I have a piece that I've worked with before. One of the beautiful things about preserved flowers is that you can just reuse them for multiple different arrangements. When you get tired of it, you can take it apart and start again. So consequently, you also have foam that you can reuse. There's no water involved, so just reuse it as many times as you like while it still has holes that will hold things. So you just take your original brick of foam, you cut off a piece that's going to be about the size of the container you're working with, and then you literally just trim the edges to fit it in your container. Now try and keep a little dome of the foam across the top, because that will help give you space to insert all of your foliage and flowers. If you make it flush with the container, it just makes it a little bit harder to give you the space that you might need if you're making a big full arrangement. So you start by putting your centerpiece item in this case. Now oftentimes when making an arrangement, I would usually start with the foliage to give you the structure of the arrangement you're making. But because this is a centerpiece of one big flower, I'm going to start with that as my structure. So just push it down as far as it'll go. Like that. And now you just really want to try and fill in around the edges with your other foliage and flowers. So I'm working with three things here today. I have the beautiful purple Eucalyptus populus, which is the nice round leaf, the baby blue traditional eucalyptus, the long thin one, and pink diosme, very pretty flower. Now all of these things come in long stems, a bit like this one. So you're just going to take your clippers and clip off your small pieces of each of your flowers and foliage. Same with the leaves. I just went ahead and pre-cut all my pieces, so it's just easier to show you today how quickly this comes together once you've done that. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the leaves, and I'm going to start with the biggest one first. So really all you're doing, it's not complicated. You just go around the edge of your container and insert these leaves around. So I'm going to have some poking up, some draping down slightly. Around the hydrangea of the eucalyptus leaves. Maybe just one or two more pieces. You want to make it full, but not so overcrowded. Now occasionally on your hydrangeas you might have a little area, like you'll see here I have a little bit of a gap. One of the little branches just fell down slightly, so you can just pop that back into place, and then as you fill in your foliage and flowers, it'll prop that up. And anywhere you see a gap, you're just going to keep filling it in with foliage and flowers. So now that I have the first layer of Eucalyptus populus in place, I'm going to go ahead with the little pink diosme flowers. Now, once you clip them off, they all come in like very small little pieces usually. Some will be bigger bunches, but the way to make it look effective is to group them together. So you can put like a few little pieces together and insert those in. It makes it give the illusion of a bigger flower. Now, I really like the contrast of this pale pink against the greens and purpley mauvey colors. The lighting sometimes on camera is a bit deceptive. I think it's a bit more subtle here than it looks on the camera with the current lighting. So you just go around your arrangement. Some of them are already bigger stalks. Just put a single one in. So turn it at all angles and keep looking at it. I think in this case I might need a few more pieces of both the flowers and the foliage. I'm going to clip off a few more here. Occasionally you might see a piece that looks like it's protruding too far, so you can just rearrange things wherever you need to. And keep taking it out and just fiddling with it until you have it in a position that you like. I think that's coming together quite nicely. Once you get that element done, then the last piece I'm going to put in here is this baby blue eucalyptus. Now, these little stalks were clipped off of a bigger branch. Again, they came in like one long branch. When you order a bunch, you get quite a few of them. Some are single stems and some have lots of small pieces, so it's a perfect use for the small pieces. And I'm going to insert those around my arrangement. And to give some sense of movement, I'm going to put some positioned facing downwards like this, and some positioned upwards. See, a very pretty little arrangement. So there you go. You saw how easy that was to put together. So a beautiful little arrangement that could be used for your office, for your kitchen table, using a beautiful red-green hydrangea in this case, eucalyptus, and some pink diosme. So check back with us. We're going to be doing more videos and different ways to use preserved plants and foliage. Thanks for checking us out. Speak to you soon.